Hey guys, in today's video I wanted to share some of the Jewish resources that we will be using along with the CMEC's program for knowledge of God, and these are going to be focusing mostly on the Old Testament aspect of religious study with the CMEC. So the first resource that's probably known to you if you're a Jewish homeschooler is the PJ Library. This is a nonprofit organization that sends books to your children each month for free based on age. So these are some of the examples for younger children. And we used these last year during Sukkot, so that's why I had these around. And they're on different topics relating to Jewish holidays and values, Shabbat, things like that. So if you're not signed up for PJ Library, definitely do that. The next one is this Jewish Holidays All Year Round. This is kind of similar to, there's a Waldorf book that has festivals all year round. This is just like the Jewish version, and so this will be definitely something that probably, if you're a little bit observant, is already known to your kids, but it provides a nice cyclical organization, and it has little recipes and things like that. So that's a great book for younger kids. And then I have this Children's Illustrated Jewish Bible book. This is by DK, and this is an illustrated book. These are the stories that are in here, and my kids have liked this. It has some maps and things like that, and it makes it easy for the kids to understand. It's broken up into very short, readable passages. So definitely recommend that one just for like overview of the Torah stuff. This book is called A Child's Garden of Torah. I think I got it on Amazon a while ago, but it's on various Jewish websites, and it presents it. It's kind of like a graphic novel, and there are other books that have these same type of illustrations, but I feel like they're kind of a little bit jokey. I'm not sure if you know what I mean. So I haven't really used this one as much. It's okay. It gives a good explanation, but I feel like it's not as serious as I would personally like. And then the next book we have, we got this from a family member, so it already had the drawing on it. But this is a series of books I recently discovered. They also have a child's introduction to the early prophets, later prophets, and various other things. So I'm trying to get my hands on those, but these were made in the 70s, I think. It's published by Berman House. It doesn't say what year. Oh, 1972. So these are kind of hard to find, but this one I think has the more reverent version, like I was talking about. And so I'm going to try to match these up with the sections of the Old Testament that the CMEC has planned. And this will be for my younger guys, so second and fifth grade next year. And then the last, like, Torah explanation version, I have these two versions of Torah with commentary. This one is just like a translation with an kind of explanation, but not as much commentary. And this one has much more extensive commentary. So my girls got these when they were preparing for their bat mitzvot. And I'll just give you an example of the commentary in here. So it has Genesis, and this is the Parsha for the week. So when you become a bar or bat mitzvah, you're assigned a section of the Torah to read and give a Devar Torah or a speech about, and each one has a different name. So there's one for each of the weeks of the year. So this is the Torah portion, which the student would be reading in Hebrew, but this is the English translation, and then here's the summary. And then you have the big ideas, and here's the Divrei Torah. So this is an example of a speech about this section. So what I like about this book is I feel like this is kind of similar to the J. Patterson Smith book, spelled Smythe. I think it's pronounced Smith, but it looks like Smythe. So this has like the commentary about these different parts of the Old Testament, the Torah. And so if you're looking for something that is most similar to those but is from a Jewish perspective, I think it's going to be a book like this. I think that this is from the Jewish Publication Society. This is, I believe, a Reform organization. So if you're not a Reform Jew, definitely look for something in either conservative or Orthodox publisher. because there's going to be, like, for example, there's a section about the flood, and it talks about environmentalism, which is fair, but, just preview basically and see if that fits your needs. The next book, which I think I've shared about before, is this Psalms and Proverbs. We use this with Ambleside Online, but you can use it with anything that's assigning to read Psalms or Proverbs, and you can see it's just written out here. I don't think this one has commentary. It's just only the Psalms or Proverbs, so this was really convenient when my students were covering this, and I get one copy for each student for them to read independently. And then the resource I'm most excited about is this series by these two authors, and it is a modern translation and commentary on the book of Job, which we'll be studying next year. There's also the book of Ruth, and there's a couple of other ones. I found this through Behrman House as well, Behrman, and I really like how it has the passages from the Torah broken up with the commentary and explaining it to the student. And this is going to be for my high schoolers, so they'll be reading the passages, like whichever chapter is assigned, and they'll read through this and do their own writing and reflecting. And so I feel that this is a really good resource for students to use on their own for that more in-depth study. So this is really something I'm more excited about, and I will be purchasing another copy so that my sophomore and my junior/senior have their own to study each day or week. And then the last resource I wanted to share, this is by this author has written a series of books. There's also a couple more. I don't remember which ones they're called. There's, I think, one on the prophets. Again, these were written in the 70s and are available from Behrman House as well as Amazon and other places. But this is kind of just something that I want to incorporate more beyond, like, Sunday Hebrew school. And I'll just give you an example of what is included in here. And this really gets into a lot of the explanation and learning more about Jewish law and things like that. And so personally, I have a really hard time finding stuff on the internet and printing it out or things like that to help guide our learning. So I thought that this would be an easier resource to use, especially if you're looping this in with your other Charlotte Mason materials, reading through a chapter, asking these questions, and having a discussion. And so this, I think, would be good for any age K through 8, but you could also include high schoolers if you were doing like family Torah study or what have you. And then same thing with Learn the Talmud. So these are the topics that are discussed in here. Covers the Mishnah, covers what the Talmud is. And basically the whole goal is, my goal with getting these stuff is to have my kids have a better understanding of all of these different components of Judaism and of Torah and Jewish law, so that their studies are being supplemented, and we're not waiting for that once a week opportunity, which ends up being more of like a community building rather than Torah knowledge study situation, if that makes sense. So those are the resources that I'm planning to use with the CMEC and just in general in our homeschool. You could use them with any other Charlotte Mason program or just even on their own if you're looking for something to learn alongside your kids. All right, thanks for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful.